The worst anime I've ever seen in my life is this OVA called Dragon Slayer. It is an absolute piece. It somehow manages to move at the speed of light and also be so unbelievably boring with nothing really remarkable happening in it. And the entire OVA is just a Chekhov's gun story of old sword master teaches dude that you can shoot energy waves out of a sword, but you can also just do it with a broom handle. And then at the end of the thing, he shoots an energy wave out of his sword and kills a dragon. Wow. Piece of garbage. I cannot believe I spent $20 on that VHS. But for the longest time, I talk about anime I like, I talk about games I like. Sure. But in this case, we're going to do something a little different because I've wanted to say this for a long time. That Dragon Slayer, incidentally, it's called Dragon Slayer, has been the golden standard of garbage for the longest time. The golden standard of garbage is now Demon Slayer. I hate watching Demon Slayer. I said that very specifically. Here's the thing. The backgrounds in Demon Slayer, I found myself repeatedly pausing at times just to admire the quality, the effort that was put in to the backgrounds. Just this candle inside of a wooden cutout lantern on a wooden desk next to a window looking out at some snow in the nighttime. And the way the light was coming out of that lantern and highlighting certain parts of the grain on the wood of the desk that it was upon, reflecting in part on the open window, and very faintly you could see tiny little bits of snow glistening with a faint amber light off in the distance from those random errant flakes that just so happened to perfectly be positioned to reflect the light from the candle. What a beautiful, I would pay money to have that background on my wall. It looks so good. The animation is amazing. It's beautiful. Like, every time I see Demon Slayer in motion, when I just see Tanjiro moving around, I'm flabbergasted. How did you guys animate the Hanafuda card earrings like that? How did you animate a green and black checker pattern, over jacket flowing around in the wind while he's moving in all these different directions? And even when you go frame by frame, not one of those checker blocks is missing or out of place or not colored in. Like, wow. The production value is out of this world. It is one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. Constant visual treat. But I hate it. Watching it is pain. The cherry on my cigarette just fell off. That makes me sad. I mean, I think it was by the 8th episode is when I first thought to myself, dang, why you gotta play the credits now and go to another episode? Like, the fight was just about to happen. I'm amped up. I want to see this guy get his ass kicked. And as soon as Tanjiro pulls his sword out, 9 times out of 10, here's the credits. You don't get to see what happens. Watch the next episode. And, I get it. That's how you get people to watch the next episode. That's how you get a syndicated show to maintain a viewership. You know what my problem with it is that every time a big fight actually happens, I'm not in it. I don't care anymore. Because you made me... don't want to watch the end. I don't want to see the next episode preview. I don't want to watch the intro. Oh, this intro actually went 15 seconds into the episode. Now I have to rewind it a little bit. I would prefer to not do any of that. I would prefer that when the protagonist draws his freaking sword and he's about to fight a demon in the show called freaking Demon Slayer, I'd like him to fight the demon. I would like that. It just never happens. And then every time okay, well, here's the fight. And Well, I had the adrenaline about 2.5 minutes ago before it just started doing all this dumb crap, and I had to watch another ad, and I'm not in the fight anymore. You know, you spent all this time building me up and amping me up, and my adrenaline is just gone now. And now it's like, yeah, okay, he's fighting all right, cool, I guess, maybe. I don't care anymore. I'm not invested. Literally, if you just took the mid-episode commercial breaks, right, and the end of episode moments, and you reversed those, you just flipped those around, the show would be a million times more watchable and so much more engaging. Or even if there's just, you know, like a supercut out there somewhere where they just take out the opening, the OP and the ED in the next episode preview, and they just show the episode content in a row, it would be amazing. It'd be freaking awesome. But it doesn't do that. Instead, it builds up your expectations and then kicks you off a cliff, and then it's like, well, climb back up, and then you can see the fight. And what was it, episode, I think 14 in season 1, when it's nighttime, they're by the river. Tanjiro is like standing on the tree stump, and he's just like, okay, this is it. I'm gonna have to use the 10th breathing form, the final secret water dragon breathing form. And as soon as he started saying that out loud, I said to myself, oh, Tanjiro's about to do something cool. That means he's not. You want to know what happened? 10 seconds later, the tree got knocked out from under him, and he didn't do the cool thing that he said he was going to do. And I was like, I can predict this show now. I can't enjoy this anymore. I cannot enjoy this anymore. It's just a pain in the ass to watch. I'm predicting every single time, oh, something cool's going to happen. No, it isn't actually. Oh my gosh. Whoever directed that anime is a hack. You had this master class team of animators and artists and voice actors and voice talent at your disposal, and you directed flaming fetid garbage. Thanks, moron. That said, the fight scene where Tanjiro's sword breaks and he's going after the spider demon Rui, while his sister is like all caught up in the nets above him, and he's, oh, it's not water breathing anymore, it's fire breathing MF, or look what's happening now. Just charges through, just getting his face and his arms and just everything is getting cut up. He just comes right up into that dude's face with his like 3-inch long broken sword and just BAM! Cuts that mofo's head off, and it just goes flipping and flying up in the air where all this flame and sparks and embers are soaring around. Holy effing crap. I have watched that scene probably 200 times. Like, every time I sit down, I'm like, I have to watch this like 6 more times in a row because it's so good. And that's why I hate that show. It's not because the show is bad. It is excellent, but it is hampered by an awful director who just made so much trash, and it is so infuriating to watch because it could be so great. It could be better than it is, and it's just not. And it's just frustrating to me, man. But hey, maybe you don't feel that way. I mean, if anything else, I've told you everything about this show fundamentally is an S tier. It's phenomenal. It's just the pacing that is just horribly ruined by a terrible director. But yeah, that's my controversial opinion about that. You don't want to know what I think about Naruto and One Piece, okay? But maybe that's for another video. Anyway, thank y'all. Why? Just the plastic have to be such a pain in the butt on these things. Thank y'all for listening. I appreciate your time. Hope you have a good one, and God bless.